Let's keep going. Mikey Walls says Doug Gottlieb is on. This dude that's on the airwaves telling black folks what they need to represent them. Disgusting. They're some of my close friends, and I admitted as much as I don't know the culture, but I don't think that showing off the opulence of having a $70,000 watch is what you want your culture to represent, is it?
Yo, what's the deal? What's the deal? It's your boy was in though, and we back. We on Doug Gottlieb head for the rest of the year. Who the trying not to start? Who the hell do you think you are to be telling a culture which you have no correlation, no ties to, what we should want? We know the reason why he did that. We got enough people like you, one of them good old boys, one of them racist people hating on them already. Show your watch to them boys. Everybody doing it. And you sitting up here hating on a 21-year-old college kid. Who the hell is you to tell black people what they should or should not want? What the hell is wrong with you? That's the problem with, see, and that is the issue. This all stems from Deion Sanders coming to college football. The good old boys is exposing themselves week after week after week after week. He exposing himself over and over and over again. We on his head today.
I have a guy, Mark Clark, saying fire Doug Gottlieb.
Yes, immediately.
But for what?
Immediately.
For what? That's the problem right there. That's the problem right there. He said, for what? For what? Huh. Yeah, I'm going to tell you for what. You need to be fired for not only disrespect, not only stereotyping a black man. You understand what I'm saying? Not only, you understand what I'm saying? I can just keep going with the things you need to be fired for, Doug. You should have never been hired with your record in that type of position. Because you shouldn't be in no position to be talking out on no black man.
Credit card thief.
Being the fact that you, sir, was arrested and charged with a felony theft of a credit card when you were in school, and they say you stole the credit card and made over $1,000 worth of purchases.
And this
so
man
you, sir,
and this is the guy. Shout out to Ticket TV, man. We tied in with you. Every time you make a video, we gonna react to it, and we gonna hear what you gotta say, hear what these bums gotta say. Man, destroy them. You a credit card fraud. You did credit card fraud, and you up here judging somebody who hasn't done any of that, who just showing they watch off to the fans that was doing it first to him. Sir, you know nothing about our culture. Stay in a Caucasian's place. And I don't care if y'all don't like this video or not. But one thing you're not gonna do is do that. I didn't hear none of, like I said, I didn't hear none of this when Johnny Football was doing the money sign and talking trash to all of his opponents and stuff like that. I didn't hear none of this outrage. None of it.
You should not be running your mouth about nothing. But somebody hit him up about that, and I want y'all to hear what he had to say about that. Let's keep going. Mikey Walls says Doug Gottlieb is on target again. Black Republic MG says it's funny. The same guy who was locked up for stolen credit cards was never locked up. Was 7 years ago? Yeah, we know you was never locked up. You was never locked up, sir, because you was afforded a different privilege than guys like Shedeur Sanders would be afforded.
Exactly. And you know the privilege you're talking about. I ain't even gonna say it.
But you sit out here saying that Shedeur Sanders is privileged because of his daddy, and you said that in this video too. And we're gonna cook you for saying that too.
Cook you.
That's another reason why you need to be fired. You said that Shedeur Sanders got a handout from his daddy, even though Shedeur Sanders has proven that not only he can play on this level.
Number one, let me tell y'all something. Did y'all know Shedeur Sanders has the highest NIL deal at $4.8 million, higher than Arch Manning, Caleb Williams? $4.8 million, almost $5 million in an NIL deal. That's why he can afford that $70,000 watch. Doug Gottlieb. Goofy. Number one, Shedeur Sanders from the HBCU. Number one in NIL deal projections. I think it's a projection or value. Yeah, value. 4.8 million. Go check it out. He's also leading the college football, I believe, in passing yards. I believe. And he's the best in the fourth quarter. It's not close. And you got people like Doug Gottlieb who's jealous, who can't take that they winning and that they doing it their way.
But he can play at the highest level. And he's proven that. He's proven that he can be one of the best quarterbacks in the country on this level. But you said in this video that he need to thank his daddy every day. Basically, you insinuated that his daddy giving him a handout. But you, sir, you were arrested for felony theft. You were arrested. And you're going to sit up here and be judgmental of another kid and tell somebody else what they do and what the black community needs.
The biggest hypocritical move of the year. Congratulations. You played yourself.
You need to have representative for them. You are disgusting. You are a disgrace. You need to be taken off the airways. And Fox, I'm going to tell y'all right now, I got a half of mine. Because they running this stuff.
But for what? Mikey Walls says Doug Gottlieb is on target again. Black Republic, the same guy who was locked up for stolen credit cards, was never locked up. Was 7 years ago? But having a $70,000 watch is what you want your culture to represent, is it?
Yes. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. We applaud what he was doing. Obviously. Now you shut your goofy ass up.
I have a guy, Mark Clark, saying fire Doug Gottlieb. But for what? Mikey Walls says Doug Gottlieb is on target again. Black Republic MG says it's funny, the same guy who was locked up for stolen credit cards was never locked up. Was 7 years ago? Let's talk about that, Doug. Can't throw a rock where you're living in a glass house. I'm not really sure how there's a comparison between the two, but...
Here's the comparison, sir. The comparison is, sir, you sat up here yesterday and you said that Shedeur Sanders couldn't afford to watch. Meanwhile, Shedeur Sanders is worth more money than anybody in college football right now. They put
what did I just say?
The stat up on the college football Fox channel yesterday. That Shedeur Sanders is worth more money than even Caleb Williams when you were sitting up there talking about how much money Caleb Williams was making. And Shedeur Sanders is worth more money than him. But you sat up there and you made it seem as if that boy couldn't afford that.
And it's not close. It's by 2 million. 2 million plus. That's how far the gap is between him and Caleb Williams.
Watch, because his daddy gave it to him. You keep with this daddy stuff, right? And so the reason why it correlates, sir, is because you, sir, would say that because your broke ass was stealing people's credit cards according to the charges that was against you and spending those credit cards on $1,000 worth of purchases. Now, was that because you couldn't afford it, Dougie?
Yep. That's exactly what it was for.
Or was that because you're just a kleptomaniac? Which one is it? Which one is it, Doug?
It's one of the other.
Inquiring minds would like to know.
It's one of the
Smash the like button, y'all come on in. The barbecue's getting started.
Let's go.
Credit cards was never locked up. Was 7 years ago? Let's talk about that, Doug. Can't throw a rock where you're living in a glass house. I'm not really sure how there's a comparison between the two, but knock yourself out.
And notice how he doesn't address those. Notice how he doesn't
address those.
That report about him being arrested for stealing those credit cards and spending over $1,000. He just whizzed right by that. Let's forget my character as a man that showed that I'm a goddamn.
And you saying he giving a handout when he leads in passing yards and fourth quarter, and check his stats in the fourth quarter. Doug Gottlieb should be fired, and I'm campaigning for Fox to get him off of the damn airwaves. This wasn't going to be a long video. I just wanted to show how Deion Sanders is changing college football forever, and them good old boys is revealing themselves. The Paul Feinbaum, Doug Gottliebs, the coons like Jason Whitlocks, the LeBron James, who don't even got nothing to do with stuff, hating. The haters coming out too. The JJ Reddicks hating. They all coming out, bro. It's pure jealousy and envy. That's crazy. This been Who Is Hendo, man. I'm out. Peace.